Hello, Internet.
Hello.
This is Zaylin.
And Amaris.
And we are LittleNerdyAX. And we just got through seeing, how can I put this? A wonderful movie.
Sorry.
What are you? You will soon find out.
But yeah, hey everybody. So we are joined by two guests.
Familiar faces.
Familiar faces. We have the Edward.
The Edward. Hello, hello.
Channel's in the description. And then we also have, let it begin.
Hey guys, it's me again. Your good old pal, Julius Purples. Album coming to 2024, R&B Delight. Dropped in panties, though. No, Gold Plated is 2020. That's going to be like a beat tape, like hip-hop, 2-bar Tommy. You know what I'm saying? And then...
What are you also known as?
Aaron is like my real name.
And what was your other alias again?
Cool.
But what was that fan thing?
When I fast forwarded.
First of all, I'll say my name every time I speak.
Yeah, so we got to see Wonder Woman. As you can tell, we're in a very good mood. The mood left us in a very good place, I think, overall.
Yep.
But for those of you first time viewing it, or whatever, you know the format of our videos, basically, we're going to start off with a non-spoiler version, which you can see in the top left corner. And then after that, we're going to transition into a spoiler version. So at that point, we'll warn you to stop listening, because then we're going to pretty much an open room discussion about the film. So without further ado, let's start with the Edward.
Sure.
And
Gladly.
give us your 5 chocobo rating.
Absolutely, certainly. I would say out of 5 chocoballs, I would say 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
You know, I didn't love it, but I really, really liked it. You know, this movie, without going too much into it, I felt like this movie had way more balance than previous DC films.
Mm-hmm.
And in any good movie, you want to have balance. And I feel like Wonder Woman did a fairly good job capturing that balance. And I hope they keep this train and momentum going for Justice League and future DC films. So Warner Brothers, keep doing what you're doing with this. This is great. Overall, really liked the film. I think it met most of my expectations, with one exception, but I can't go into until we get into the spoiler territory.
All right.
But overall, 2 thumbs up, 4 out of 5 chocoballs.
All right, cool. Put a pin on that one. All right, Julius, how you feeling?
Solid. I'll give it a 3.5, 3.75.
Ooh, could almost be 3.8. I thought I was going to do.
3.8? That's an odd round number to choose, Ashley. 3.75 chocobos out of 5. I enjoyed the movie. It was by far and away, this is the best DC movie.
Pause. I'm rounding his chocobo score. Continue.
I know you're going to route all of this.
I am. I'm not cutting that chocobo that many ways. I'm sorry.
Just cut the chocobo in half, man, and I'll say 3.75, but make it 3.5. You feel me?
Continue.
So by far and away, this is the best DC movie that's existed. Not perfect. It's corny at times, a little cheesy at times, but compared to previous DC works, which would I probably give like a 0 or 1.
Ooh.
This is by far. I hated those.
I hated
those
umbrella
movies.
over him just floating about.
Will, you let me down. Will, you know what I'm talking to.
Oh.
Will Smith, that's my guy. He's like,
Dude.
why don't you? Anyway.
Suicide Squad wasn't all his fault.
No, so I really enjoyed the movie. Cheesy bits apart, but also really badass. A little sprinkling of some political stuff in there. A little American history in there. Like, fucking talk that talk, Wonder Woman. So I really enjoyed the movie. It was humorous. It was charming. I can't remember the name of the woman who played the actress.
Gal Gadot.
Gal
Gadot.
That's what
Shout
that
out to my
means.
Fast and Furious family. We out here making that money. Super charming, like just wonderfully done. Yeah, really enjoyed the movie.
Okay. Would you like to go?
Well, 3.8 out of AKA 4. It's gonna be 4. I guess we'll just round up to 4 out of 5 chocobos. Overall, yeah, very entertaining. Wonder Woman has never. I'm not like a Wonder Woman stan. Like I don't really follow her. I was always kind of apathetic towards her. But this, I liked her. I really liked this particular actress's portrayal of her. I felt like she had like Aaron said, a lot of charisma. I enjoyed the way she portrayed Wonder Woman, and I enjoyed the movie overall. Like everybody else already said, with some cheesy moments and some but I didn't have any glaring like story issues like with Pirates, where it's like there's big glaring holes. When they had things that happened that were like, how did that happen? They kind of give you a quick one sentence explanation, like this is how this happened. I was like, that's all I needed. I just needed to logically, fit in here. But anyway, 3.8, 4 out of 5 chocobos. Go see it with your family and your friends.
Thank you. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, definitely go see it with your family.
Yeah.
It's good for all ages. It's not too gory.
Yeah.
It's an action movie.
Good for kids.
That kind of it takes place during a war. That's all I'm going to say. But essentially, the movie itself, I was very apprehensive about. I was kind of nervous about it because number one, between like movies where there's a superhero heroine, whether it be Lucy or Ghost in the Shell or whatever, for some such reason women just can't, like, there's like a glass ceiling when it comes to like just super heroines, period. Like you guys just the films, something always falls short. I remember watching a video where they were like doing a comparison and like talking about, not comparison, but they were like, hopefully Wonder Woman won't be like Catwoman. I was like, ooh, Catwoman, that DC movie with that happened. And they were like, but Marvel also wasn't that bad, but Marvel hasn't always been perfect because Marvel had Elektra.
Yeah.
And no one wants to talk about Elektra.
Yeah, so had to catch their stride. Marvel had to catch their stride, and DC is catching their stride.
I think DC finally, I'm glad that, Wonder Woman is coming and hopefully pioneering a certain level of quality for future DC films, especially these hero ones going forward, because I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous, and because of that, that does affect the score that I'm going to give it. Now, I was going to just go ahead and give it like a solid 5. I was. But the thing that held me back was I thought about the previous movies like Get Out, stuff like that I did get 5s to, and those movies always surpassed my expectations, and I was like, this was amazing. I was like just going through my head over again. Wonder Woman, I'm gonna have to sit here and I do solid numbers. I'm gonna have to give it a 4, only because one, there were some things that I'll get into later that for me personally, I would have liked if they handled a little bit better. There were some stylistic, I'm a visual person or whatever, some stylistic choices that I'm going to call Snyderisms that I wasn't too much of a fan of, #Snyderisms. And quite frankly, like, I think that this film overall is something that I could rewatch. Yeah. And I think as a previous guest on the show, it's something I feel like I got my money's worth.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So that's why it gets a 4 out of 5 chocobos. So yeah, grab your families, go see it. It's entertaining from beginning to end, and unlike other
nothing
DC
too gory,
movies,
nothing too sexual,
and it has comedy, like a DC hero movie with like actual like good comedic,
good
characters that you like.
But also that comes a lot from the cast. I think Chris Pine actually has a lot.
Okay, so Chris
comedic quality.
Chris Pine,
and also
I
don't know if the word would be aspiring or inspiring, but the role model that Gal Gadot sets as Wonder Woman, I think, is incredibly powerful for little girls or women of all ages, really. And she sets like a really not a standard, but she has this way about her that almost aspires you to be a better person, whether you're a
which
woman
Wonder Woman and Superman should do.
Yes,
they should inspire.
She wasn't
exactly.
They should inspire.
See, like unlike previous DC films where you like
Man of Steel, Suicide Squad,
where you know it's like characters you're familiar with, but afterwards you don't feel like you've seen them at their best. Wonder Woman, you saw her at possibly her best, I think.
Best for now.
For now.
I can honestly argue, like, next to Iron Man, this is probably the best origin superhero movie I've ever seen.
And we know how you feel about origin.
It was solid,
movies are terrible, and this is next to Iron Man. This is probably the best origin story that we've seen.
Solid, well said. Solid superhero origin story.
Let's be real. Origin stories tend to come at a disadvantage. You have to sit here and establish all this backstory before you actually get something that's relevant.
Yeah, the villains are never strong. Nothing is ever scary. This is a really good job.
They did a good job. And again, I'm just overall I'm grateful that it was a woman taking the lead.
Man,
who didn't have
stereotypical
no offense to Black Widow or whatever. Black Widow is one hero surrounded by a bunch of other guys. Even like Scarlet Witch, you just came into the game or whatever, but it's like that's all you really got for positive, strong, cool characters, and even then their roles are minimized. Thank you. In the scope of the whole entire film, this was all about her. This was like, and one more thing I just want to say, which isn't a spoiler. The one thing I do like about her that Gal Gadot's portrayal of her is that she wasn't that woman, that female hero character that was like stoic and like unapproachable and kind of just so strong that she can't be approached. She wasn't like, nerd reference, Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. But she also wasn't like your anime trope character where she's like, I'm so emotional and everything just otherwise the world.
She was a regular
she wasn't that.
Balanced. She was balanced.
Yeah.
Balanced, Warner Brothers, balanced.
Yeah, it was good. I'm looking forward to seeing her in her next appearance in Justice League.
Yep, that's her next appearance.
And we'll see how she carries on.
Yep. How she'll interact with a team of primarily men. She'll be the only gal.
Welcome to the world.
She's strong though.
Yep.
But she's like literally stronger than everybody but Superman.
Pretty much, yeah. So if any of them give her any crap, she can just bop it
that
down.
might be an interesting thing to bring up in our spoiler section, which is coming up right about. Everybody, you ready? Spoilers. Right about now.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Okay, you got it. All right. So let's just do like a summary, and then we're gonna open this thing up for discussion to talk about what we like and didn't like about Wonder Woman.
All right.
So basically, Wonder Woman. You are introduced to Wonder Woman. She's training as a young girl. Then all of a sudden, the force field around their island is breached by Steve Johnson. Trevor Johnson.
His name was Trevor.
Steve Trevor.
Steve Trevor
is a spy. And he crashes. Then we got some German ships coming in. The Amazons fight it, but not without losses. And basically, Wonder Woman goes out into the world to try to stop this war, which she thinks is caused by Ares. Using something called the God Killer, which is a sword, but it's not actually a sword because she's the God Killer. And she destroys Ares in the end. Pretty much.
That's basically it. Wrapped up in that show. There are lots of wonderful.
I didn't talk about the villains or anything. But
but essentially that is roughly the plot of the story.
The
basically, I think that was a great summary. But one of the reasons why she leaves her island is because she feels it's her duty or the duty of the Amazons to help protect the world. Where the rest of the Amazons don't want to, she does. So that's why she goes with Steve Trevor. And the whole reason Ares is even behind World War I or inspiring it is because he loves to feed off of people's violence and warmongering. Because he is the god of war.
He's jealous.
And he wants to destroy humanity because he doesn't like humanity.
And you know what? I appreciate that, and I'm gonna try to limit my comparisons to her DC counterpart, Superman, at least in the cinematic universe. With her, she genuinely feels it is her responsibility to use all of her abilities to protect this world. I don't quite know if Man of Steel had that same kind of push. And so, like right now, like Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, in my opinion, spoiler alert again, Superman's dead, but if he ever did come back, even with Batman or whatever, she definitely...
Is he dead right now in the world?
He's dead right now.
Oh, okay.
He was dead. He was dead until that post-credit scene. And I'm not no, pull it back, Wonder Woman. I'm not going there. For Man of Steel, for Batman Superman, Superman.
Okay.
But yeah, by the way, there is no post-credit scene for Wonder Woman. So you can leave the theater, but stay on for the credits. They worked hard. Wonder Woman. No, sorry guys, let's slow it down.
Subtitles.
But yeah, Wonder Woman in this one, she, besides being inspiring or whatever, she actually definitely wants to actually help people.
Yeah.
And she really could carry the flag of being Justice League's leader, as far as I would see. Like, Batman's there and he has money or whatnot, but like, actually, right, the way they're setting this up when they put them all together, I kind of want her to lead the Justice League, because I feel,
we saw her in the trailer with Aquaman and Cyborg, and she's dead center.
She's dead.
And they waited for her, right, to come in, and they're like, okay, now we go.
You guys, like...
She is the only one that actually knows how to fight.
This girl's bad. This girl's hardcore.
Aquaman might know how to wrestle some whales.
No, I'm saying, but actually, I was raised as a warrior.
Trained as a soldier.
So since we're going to talk about Wonder Woman warriors and being raised, I had a small concern. I remember I had concerns said earlier. One of my concerns was actually the cast of Gal Gadot herself. I did not remember from Fast and Furious because she died.
That too, and that's my shit.
But real talk, like when I thought Wonder Woman, I had this image of Wonder Woman in my head that is actually less petite gown. This is no
Like
shade
a
at her at
female
all or
wrestler,
whatever.
like a-
But I was thinking like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
people
yeah.
were even actually thinking that, and also because I think of this woman who was raised as a warrior. She's fighting. I feel like if you're training every day, that's all you do. You know, you're gonna have some cuts. You know, you have some definition. You maybe even have some bulk or whatever because you gotta be carrying these shields and all that stuff. But that was really my only hold up. But then again, and this is what some people use as an excuse when artists portray Wonder Woman as boobylicious or whatever, it's like, but she's magical, and I'm all like, this Wonder Woman is not a sorceress. She's not out here casting spells.
Yeah, not at
or whatever.
all.
She's not teleport. Actually, at the end, I wasn't quite sure if she could fly or not. Honestly, I couldn't tell.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think she's more of a leaper and a jumper.
Yeah.
Apparently, someone said that is one of her abilities, that she can fly.
And
then they
she
revealed
started
in versions of
Wonder Woman. I'll let you go, Ed. I'll let you go. I'll let you have this one.
In previous versions that I've seen, or at least, like, to be fair, to be frank, the only other versions of Wonder Woman I've seen have been animated version, and usually Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Yes, she can fly, and she does go, I would say, full-blown Superman by doing this at points, or if not this, this basically. In this movie, to answer your question, no, I do not think she can fly. I think, like her fellow Amazons, as we saw in the Battle of Themyscira, they are excellent leapers and jumpers.
Yeah. So,
plus, sorry to go off what you're saying about her being not being a sorceress. They made it clear that she is not immortal, because we saw what happened to her aunt and several other Amazon warriors. When they got hit with bullets, it killed them. If it hit them in the flesh, it killed them. So
but she is.
God.
True. That's a good
So
point.
she
is
healed, and she had they did a little that healed quick, little quick.
So
that's true.
Because she is technically different. She's biologically
that's
different from the other Amazons. But going back to Wonder Woman and like her flight, the only reason I brought up the whole flight thing was because with the last shot you see of her, she for some strange reason jumps off into the air, and I'm all like, was that a Snyderism? Snyderism. It's basically anything that resembles 300, or where you have a character center screen with a giant pose and there's everything in slow motion and the background is basically non-existent. To me, that's a Snyderism. You'll see in the film. Go watch 300. Watch other stuff that he's done, the other DC movies, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyways, she jumps, and then at the end of the scene, and she's going up, and I'm like, you're gonna fly, you're gonna fall, what's going on? I was that's a very weird way to end it, unless you're implying that she could fly, because after she had that whole Zeus hit her thing or whatever, and she was coming down, then this could be just cinematography thing, but she literally it looked like she was floating down.
Yeah.
As opposed to falling down. Even her hair was placed as I'm looking. I'm like, she's floating down after doing that.
Maybe she was up there for a while.
Maybe maybe since World War I, she's learned more about herself.
I think she was locking down.
Yeah.
She went down.
She learned how to dig her hands in concrete, because you could tell that she has a lot of. It was kind of like Hercules kind of discovering his strength.
Her own strength,
and her developing her abilities. And
I guess for the final shot of the scene, the way I interpreted it before it goes to black, I think it was implying that she was about to do basically a classic superhero landing, even though it was in that slow-mo Snyderism type shot. I think it was implied, from what I got from her physical stance, it was implied she was going to land really hard on her feet. But I guess it is entirely possible that she could have gone to flying formation.
Yeah, because I interpreted it after Steve dies. Spoiler, he dies.
He sacrificed himself
like a G. That's pretty much all he could do, because Wonder Woman is strong.
Wonder Woman's there.
But after she realizes that he dies, she basically seems to unlock her god power. Is what seems to happen. So maybe that's
her rage. She kind of goes full Hulk for a second.
Yeah.
Full Phoenix, freaking full Super Saiyan.
She
taps into her rage. No, but she tapped into her rage and her emotions, and that's what allowed her to free herself and finally kick Ares' ass, basically.
And it did look like, because she had that moment in the air, and she was just suspended there, so maybe that was her starting to fly.
I think so. Yeah, because okay, again, this might just been a thing I misinterpreted, but even when she got hit by the lightning, it felt like something was going on with her gauntlets. They weren't just holding the energy; it felt like they were doing something with the energy.
Yeah.
But maybe that was just to set up for the blast.
But
it felt like something was happening.
I feel like the gauntlets also were a promise that was not kept, because in the beginning, she's doing a fight scene. She's having a fight with her aunt. And she blocks a move, and when she blocks, there's a big blast, a shockwave that kind of knocks everybody down. And I was like, we never really got to that. I mean, we saw that she's blocking stuff with it, but we never kind of unlocked that ability.
Yeah, you know what? That
I
kind of
think
seemed like.
didn't she do it once when she was going against Ares?
Yeah,
she did it
Oh, did
a
she?
couple of
Did
times.
she? Okay.
Yeah, she did this a couple
Where she had
of
a shock.
times.
I mean,
No, she did it once
she
in the
was
beginning and
blocking.
once against Ares.
Yeah, once against Ares.
And the reason why I thought she never went back to that move is because that was the move that like hurt someone she
Yeah,
loved.
that's good.
That's why it was
Yeah.
like an intentional restraint on herself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to. This was
Yeah.
scary, and I hurt somebody, and I'm out of control.
You
And
know-
so that emotional release at the end when she bang was because she's now releasing.
Yeah, because
all her-
she accidentally injures her aunt the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So you're like, she puts that in her mind. Ooh, can't do that.
I
move,
think that's what that
that'll
was.
serve
Like,
me.
kind of her crossing a barrier into like trusting
You know,
herself. and
I can believe that. I
Yeah.
don't think that the character conveyed that. I don't think that that was like
Not at
something
all.
that was conveyed, but I can see that
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
That can logically be what it would
Yeah, yeah.
be. But
Wonder Woman's abilities in general, you know, in their evolution or whatever, then she developed the strength, jumping, possibly
Picking up
flying,
tanks
whatever.
and stuff, yeah.
I also like how they took opportunities to kind of showcase her different skills. There was one point where she was fighting with her lasso only, which I thought was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
choreography.
Yeah.
And there
Yeah,
were
the
also
lasso
scenes where she was
too
fighting
was
only with her
destructive.
shield, which I thought was also
Yeah.
interesting too. But
she was
it,
in the green room just like by herself,
just
like
swinging, nothing is going around, just go in there, go on, gal.
I wish I had somebody to put something in right now.
Or they put a string in her.
I'm
Okay.
sure. I'm
Okay, I'm
sure.
sure that'd be
But you know, there. With that said, her lasso and just in general, some of the things that relied on effects. There were a couple of odd moments in them visually, just kind of looking at them. It got a little weird, and some of it felt too standardized or whatever. And oh gosh, so. In the beginning with the Amazon, I remember we both kind of reacted
Shout out to
like,
Serena Williams making a cameo. Big, black chick.
like,
a lot of diversity with the Amazons.
the Amazons were just
That's a good point.
Yeah.
but like these,
Appreciated it.
I don't know if it was a budgeting thing. I'm not sure
it
what
was
came to
kinda
conclusions, but some of the Amazons were definitely CG,
Yeah.
and especially when they were fighting in the beginning, and it was a little obvious, a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I was kind of like,
Because the transition from when it was like an actual person to when it was a CG thing was kind of like, oh, that was a little
yeah.
jarring.
But again,
But it was
if,
not bad.
most people probably won't even notice it.
Quite frankly, you know what, and maybe I don't have as a visual eye as you do, but I don't think I noticed that at all. That some of
There
them
we
were
go.
You'll be
CG,
okay.
and some of them
Yeah.
were actresses. Seriously, quite honestly, like when that battle started, you know, I didn't think to myself,
It was more when they were training though.
Oh,
It was more of
Yeah,
the
just in
everything
that,
was
literally
training.
the first
Yeah.
five.
I didn't
No,
know
that beach
no.
battle though.
I didn't notice.
She
That was a
slowed
good
down,
one.
hit the
Shield.
That was
Okay, I will
was
say
like, I want
this.
to be an archer.
There's nothing quite as satisfying as seeing badass archery.
Yes,
Like
yes.
archery
Hanging off the horse,
Yes,
just like
yes,
going for it.
Give it to me. Because I want to be an archer. Look, in the apocalypse, you're gonna see me.
Did you guys see the intro?
I'm about to go learn some archery, baby.
Literally, like since Lord of the Rings, Hawkeye,
Yes!
there's something really about like really
Legolas,
satisfying
don't give me
seeing
that Legolas.
people go in with a bow and arrow.
An
Yes.
epic archer shot, basically.
And then doing work, like literally
Like,
doing work.
When her aunt,
On the floor, stabbed the
arrow.
It was so
And then when she
good.
did it, when she came back and she was like,
Yeah.
got those last
Okay,
three,
no,
and you saw
okay,
her
okay.
face, she was like, bitch, I'm about to take
Okay,
it.
real quick. Two
Yes.
things.
I was like, give it.
The best part was when she was running, she hit somebody with a quick shot, like off the shoulder, killed him. That when she jumped in the air, I laughed out loud. That was mad corny with the 3.
Yeah, I love that moment
You know
too. It was like,
I like your facial
Take it,
expression.
take it.
I'm not
I
even
was
mad.
like, ooh, okay, cheese ball. And there was a lot of
There's
those
a lot of
moments
cheesy moments in the
where
movie.
it
But it's a
was
superhero
like,
movie. It's a superhero movie, and it's
Isn't
like
DC kind of cheesy though? Is it?
they're supposed to be.
Like Marvel's supposed to be kind of dark, and DC's supposed to be kind of like.
No, no,
seems
no,
like
other
they
way
both
around.
take it. They're
In the
both
cinematic universe,
reversed.
they
Oh,
reverse.
reverse.
DC was
Yeah.
always supposed to be the darker of the brands.
Well.
Maybe
Tim Burton changed
not the
that,
comics.
didn't he?
Definitely not the comics.
Really?
Have you not heard of Superman? He's literally a walking American flag. Like, even
Yeah,
Captain
but
America.
see, you have to understand that Superman to me is like, he's like a little fart in the wind.
Have you seen Green
Damn!
Lantern? Have you seen Green
And he
Lantern?
busts through this window.
I love
like,
Green
fart.
Lantern, and they destroyed that Green Lantern.
You want to talk about that?
Because Green Lantern was the first
You wanna talk
black
about that?
superhero that I liked, and all of a
Oh.
sudden this motherfucker, okay, don't get me started now.
It's okay.
I like
It's okay.
Ryan Reynolds though.
Ryan Reynolds is incredible. He should not have been Green Lantern. I don't know.
You
That's
know,
why he came back as Deadpool.
It's Deadpool. He was
That was-
reincarnated.
He
that was
hopped
what
in
it
the
should've
correct universe.
You got information.
Anyway, back to reality.
Thank you for that.
reality.
But some of these fight scenes were just they were so fun to watch.
Yeah, they were real
They're
fun.
really
Like,
so
and
satisfying.
even just the Amazon training was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
And you know what? I also loved, that was one of the highlights of the film for me, was I loved the little actress who played young Diana.
Oh, she was
adorable.
She
She
got
was adorable.
really into it. She really embodied the spirited,
Innocence.
the innocence, and like just how spirited the character
So eager to
was.
help and be
Yeah.
involved and want to like
She was
train.
such a charming little girl.
She was.
Yeah, she was.
She
yeah.
was like, how about, like, she was not
Yeah.
bargaining with her mom, like,
Yeah.
nah, like, you're a
Like
child.
yeah, I mean, she didn't have a long part, but even adolescent Deanna,
Yeah.
I was just like, I appreciate the casting because it looked like they were all just younger versions of Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
or whatever.
absolutely.
So good job.
Good casting.
Hopefully there wasn't any CG work, but yeah, essentially like it was pretty good. The little girl was incredibly charming,
Yeah.
especially when I saw her riding with the other Amazons, and she was on that horse, that huge full size, not a pony. This little girl was riding a horse. Legs will never reach the stirrups. I was charmed.
She was
I
clenched,
like,
though. She was-
this
Yeah.
child.
That thigh strength. That thigh
She was
strength
just, no, I was
there.
just like, this is so good. I love this. I mean, and again, like Wonder Woman really, like her origins are, like they have always been kind of like back and forth, they're kind of weird or whatever. And the movie, the way they, the image they painted of Themyscira and the Amazon and how they view the outside world, it's very easy to make the Amazons all anti-man. It's very easy to do that, but they didn't necessarily do that or whatever.
Was
They're
that
just like,
like anti moral? Like,
Humanity.
yeah, that's what it was.
You know what their mentality was? And actually, it's funny because this movie takes place during World War I, and I think it's where this term was first coined. Their mentality was isolationism.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of countries during World War I that
They wanna
developed
be
this isolationism mindset. Like, nope, we don't want to be involved in this war or in either side. We're not taking sides here. We're staying out of it. And so this term came about called isolationism. And I think that could definitely be applied to Themyscira.
They are the epitome of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the epitome of it. And again, it was just a very satisfying like beginning of the film or whatever.
Yes.
Transitioning and then there was a very kind of funny scene where I think Chris Pine is bathing and then he comes out and she just walks and he's like in the nude and they're having this conversation. I'm like, there's a lot of innuendo going on.
That's why I enjoyed it so much.
I was like, this is great.
Actually,
Yeah.
the chemistry and Chris Pine. Well, Chris Pine plays this kind of role very well.
Yeah.
Star Trek, Captain Kirk. You've
Yeah,
seen him do this role super well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm a good guy, but I'm kind of like edgy.
Charming rogue kind
You know,
of.
Charming rogue.
Really good,
Charming rogue, that's a
charming
good
rogue.
word.
I like that.
I think one of the highlights of the movie for me was honestly Gal Gadot's performance. And actually, it's two things.
Yeah.
It's, this is a combination of two things. A lot of people said for the first couple DC movies that there wasn't a whole lot of humor or lightheartedness to it.
Mhm.
And I think this film kind of made up for that, and they got it back on track. And here's the best part. Not only did we fall in love with Wonder Woman, but her naivety, her innocence is what made it humorous. Because when she first gets to London, she's all starry-eyed and a little freaked out, but it's funny. And she's not even trying to be funny, but that's what makes it funny, is her innocence. Gal Gadot had this innocence about her, about like, well, if I kill Ares, then everyone will stop killing each other. And that was her, she genuinely believed that. And
She did.
You could see the disappointment on her face.
When
Or
she
it's like
killed the
the
guy, she
worry.
thought was Ares, and nothing changed.
Yeah, when she kills this guy, this general that you think is Ares for a while, and it turns out to be some nasty German general. And then when she sees that nobody stops fighting or doing what they're doing, she starts to look worried and confused, like, I killed the god of war. Why is everybody still doing this? What's going on? And that moment isn't meant to be funny, but it's meant to show you, she's still very much innocent or new to this world.
Yeah, you know what it is. As far as her character, the way she, portrayed the character, it wasn't like, ignorance. It was just like very as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She was like, this is what I know. I'm not stupid at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like how she was like, they made her actually very comfortable with herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was never uncomfortable in any situation.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, and I really appreciated that. There wasn't like, it wasn't like, I don't know how to say, like a stereotypical like portrayal of like, a woman in the movies that we see in this kind of position.
Exactly. That's
very
what I love.
comfortable at all times.
Yeah,
I really enjoy that.
That's what I love about the character, because even in the cartoon, she did not take no for an answer. If the other characters try to tell her to do something, I mean, she may agree to the plan, but if they try to tell her to do something, and she's like, no, you can't tell me what to do. Nobody tells me what to do.
There's a line that sometimes people do. People tend to kind of, female characters can be kind of like put into this box where if they're too strong-willed or if they're too defiant or whatever, they're considered like bitchy or whatever. And you never get that from her.
No,
not at all.
And you never get the pushover either. You know what I mean? So it's like
they portrayed strength in her. Like when she walked in that room.
Just real strength, just normal
real
strength.
When she walked in that room full of generals and like the men were like,
why
is there a man? Why is there a woman in here? It wasn't like, get her out of here. They were like, oh, she's supposed to be in here? Like they were almost like,
so good.
Her confidence. Yeah, her confidence.
Her confidence and her poise, just how she carried herself. Absolutely.
I like that scene too, because he was like, okay, stay out here. And she was like, okay. And then she was like, nah, bitch, I'm coming in.
Yeah, seriously.
She kept trying to come into the meeting.
But yeah, she is a really, I thought that, a lot of the portrayals you see of women, even just in novels and things like that, are very kind of weird and cliche and stereotypical and weird. But she was a portrayal of just like normal, regular, real strength, like a real person. She felt like a real person.
Yeah.
It wasn't overblown.
No damsel in distress.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't cold.
That totally did not happen.
Yeah, no over emotional breakdown moments.
Like even when the love of her life died. And it was a very emotional, but it wasn't like she didn't collapse in tears and rage. She was like pissed.
She kept fighting.
To an extent, it empowered her. That's
that's what empowered her.
Because like his death, it wasn't because it was like you destroyed him. That's what you would see. That's what people make girls do. They make girls do that all the time.
She had this nice combination of she's doing things that you would typically see men do, and she's reacting to things in the way that you might see a male hero do. But she still had that. She did it with a woman's sensibility. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
a little bit, but it wasn't like she felt like she was trying to play a man or what you think that typical
again stoic or like there was none of that.
And they did a good job of that throughout the entire cast, right?
Yeah.
Like the Indian guy wasn't like how. I mean,
he was like. Just like normal ass people. Like,
I love the little supporters
actually.
Yeah, the crew was real cool.
There was no character, no stereotypical this is what we think. Yada yada yada, right? It was like no, this is just
even the Germans weren't stereotypical.
No, they were human, right?
Yeah.
Like
I was afraid of that. I was waiting for someone to get up, have a speech, and be like flipping their wig. I was waiting for it. I was like, please don't give me that.
No, they're just people. Like they made a really good job.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and subtlety to their character.
And it's funny because even like I think like I was drawn to Dr. Poison, who is a character of significance because she's developing. This biological weapon that's going to change the tide of the war, despite the armistice the Germans were having. And I will say that even with her, I had some actual even her being a villain or kind of there was a weird kind of like vulnerability that she character showed, and it was also I don't know. if she came back, which she probably won't or whatever, because unless she's immortal or whatever,
she's not really dead. Though.
She's not really dead. She ran away. She ran away. I don't know. I'm not really versed in Wonder Woman's, mythology or story or her character. I don't know if Dr. Poison is a big thing or not. If she makes an immortal gas or whatever, I don't know. But there were moments where, even her, she was in charge. She had a position. She was in charge. She was the brilliant mind. She was the brain or whatever. And I don't think she was ever really disrespected for being a woman or that at all in the film. No, and there was even a scene where she's at a party, she's by herself, and then Chris Pine is flirting with her, and he's throwing it on thick, play it like
she was
feeling it. Breath deep. He was coming with her or whatever. But then she noticed looked at Wonder Woman, and then she immediately clicked and pulled back, and I was like, thank you for not being desperate.
Yeah, she realized it.
Another really good thing I like about her character, without even us knowing anything about her, they did a really good job just with her character design. Giving a lot of backstory immediately, I kind of understood who she was. With the the mask and the mask.
And you could tell she was a little cuckoo.
Yeah.
Because there were moments when 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 they think all the German generals or whatever
Yeah.
are like gas, and it was a small thing they did.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, she's a little different because
She
she
was-
went to look,
She was like-
and then she was kind of like,
Yeah.
and I'm all like, okay, so.
They did a really good job
You know, like,
informing you of
yeah.
who she was without going like she was a
Giving
scientist.
dialogue and all that
da- da- da-
stuff,
da-
yeah.
She was like, okay, I get it. Like,
And you can guess like her accident was probably had to do with the poisons that she was
Exactly.
taking.
Yeah,
They
some
did a really
kind
good
of
job.
lab
Yeah.
experiment
Yeah.
gone
They
wrong.
They really did a good job.
But they
I
didn't
mean-
say that, but you
I
can
mean,
guess.
to an extent, maybe she is in herself kind of like a metaphor for humanity, where she's like,
Well,
you
they
know,
used her at the end for that.
yeah, you know, and duh, they totally did that.
Yeah.
They totally missed it. No, they totally
And
did
there
that.
she looked really sympathetic to me.
She
Like,
did,
looked
she did.
small, she had tears in her eyes,
Yeah.
I kind of felt for her.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and I think that was well done by the actress, whoever
Yeah,
she is. I'm
yeah.
sorry if I don't know names, but like, because the way she looked at Wonder Woman, like, you know, I mean, it's typical for, you know, the hero to hold and have this like helpless person and be like, oh, I won't do it anymore because I'm a hero. But the amount of emotion that was portrayed in actress, I was feeling like, please don't smash her. Like, I actually was like, I have a clue she'll smash her.
I felt for
Like,
her, yeah.
I knew she wasn't, but I
She
actually
looked
felt
like
like,
a little
don't,
child
yeah,
a little bit. Her eyes
yeah,
I have a
were-
question.
Yeah.
For this movie, I think this is probably like one of the better acted DC movies.
Yes.
Now, would you say that is for the failed movies of the past? The movies, the previous DC Universe movies, do you think that was lost in translation, or do you think that the characters that they're casting in the other movies are actually good like they're acted well, just like the direction or whatever?
I'll put it like
Because,
this.
like this is like almost like a standout, like how much better the performances were in this.
I think it might. Okay, there are a couple things because I think that actors a lot of times, no matter how talented they are, Will Smith, if you're given a script,
Yep.
and your direction is a little skewed or whatever,
Yeah.
your performance is gonna fall short, no matter how
Studio
great you are.
interference as well.
Yeah, that can also play a part of it. But I will say, you know, to kind of answer your question, I'm glad you said that because with this film, the casting again, even I was kind of like Gal Gadot or whatever, but she was able to carry the weight and
Yeah.
responsibility of the
Yep.
character.
Yeah.
I think it was well cast compared to other DC films. I want to believe in Batfleck. I do. And
I think he's actually a good
no,
actor.
exactly.
You know
But
what's
I
so
don't know
ironic?
if he's given the right
Yeah.
tools.
Yeah.
You know what's so ironic about it too is that despite how divisive that movie was, what's so ironic is that the thing everybody thought was going to be totally awful turned out to be like one of the,
The
best
best
things
things.
of the movie was
What does that say
his
about it?
performance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I've
then
not
he
seen him
portrays
as Batman, except for in little after credits things.
But he
We'll watch Batman
portrays
Superman
Okay.
and
he
rage on it.
portrays like the Batman that you expect to be 40, 50 years old.
He's
good.
no, exactly, yeah. No, actually, yeah. He's definitely the older Christian Bale.
Yeah,
But he's
Okay.
experienced and calm and like I know all the answers.
Yeah,
Guys
yeah.
just kind of you know.
to
But
answer your question, Aaron, at least my
okay,
what
wait,
makes-
wait, there's one thing I want to mention in,
Okay.
in comparison. I'm not familiar with Henry Cavill's work. I know he's playing Superman or whatever. I feel like he's never been given anything
Nothing.
in these
They've
movies
given him
to work with or whatever. Because like his script, I was like, I don't know if I'm rooting for you. I don't know if you're rooting for yourself. You know, and again, that's not the actor's fault. I think,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Here's what I take away from it. As flawed as the previous films were, for me personally, I mean, I can still sit through them and watch them, but one of the few things that make it watchable for me are individual performances. And I think the previous DC films, despite how polarizing they were to people, it had great talent in it. And I think I think it's just honestly a combination of multiple factors. You know, studio interference, total lack of balance, and that lack of balance comes from, I think, scripts that were being rewritten, redone, or
reshot so many times.
Because I mean, there's some really talented actors in the previous films, and I don't think it's any of their faults those movies turned out that way. I just think it was a lack of direction, or perhaps too much direction, and just the quality of the scripts. Overall, lack of balance. I mean, I don't know if that's the actual case or not, that's just my 2 cents, but with this movie, that Wonder Woman, which felt incredibly balanced, you know, that's probably why it felt better acted.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I completely agree with you on that. The script itself, after watching it, look at the script, I think I've said this like several times or whatever, but I am overall just kind of like impressed with the story that they were able to tell.
Yeah.
Because this whole like mythology thing and then putting it into, you know, into like a contemporary world and then trying to explain them without making one seem like it's a 50, like it was a very cohesive merging these two worlds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially the idea of like this man-made war and then trying to tie it into this divine intervention of a deity. You know, like they handled it very well. And I'm not gonna lie, that itself is just an intimidating, I feel very complicated story to tell.
Yeah.
Especially when you have basically God on Earth / Wonder Woman or whatever, roaming around here. Supposedly, how is she threatened by anything? You know what I mean? Like this, yeah, you go into film expecting her to win whatever battle's going to happen. Yes. But the journey is believable. The way she reacts is believable or whatever. She's not too overpowered.
She has moments of doubt.
Yeah.
Some moments of darkness.
Yeah.
Moments of rage.
Oh yeah.
And going back to what you said about the moment where she's tempted to throw the tank on Dr. Poison. I think and Dr. Poison kind of being a metaphor for humanity.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wonder Woman was also a big metaphor in this movie, because what I mean by that is that this whole movie, she is discovering who she is while living in Themyscira and exploring the Earth for the very first time. And it's only until the end of the movie she discovers who she is meant to be, or at least who she chooses to be, or to become. Because she defies Ares, she defies her mother, and she still ends up being the superhero, saving the day, kicking ass. But it takes an entire movie for her to truly discover what that means for her.
And that's what an origin movie should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why this is a solid superhero origin story.
I love the story they told.
Yep.
I don't think they could have. Like, I had some, I can nitpick at little things that I would have preferred or whatever. Like, she's Aries' brother and this, whether she's Aries' brother or in the animated thing, whether she's Aries' brother or whether she's, Aries' daughter or whatever, depending on what story you're telling or whatever. Overall, like, all the messages and themes that were conveyed in this script, like, I really do appreciate them. And I think that this is a standout in general for superhero films. Because you're right. I think her discovering who she wants to be is what every origin movie should kind of be told. And this was, I can't think of a better way right now for this to be told for her.
Yeah,
this
is
is
really
great.
well done.
I think it got, I wasn't sure why they did this, and it got a little cheesy at the end where she said that and I agree with this, I believe this to be true, but when she said that, what did she say? She said love is basically how to save the world, essentially.
Essentially, love is the answer,
It was like a little bit cheesy, just a little bit,
But
and it was kind of like
sprinkled all through it.
it was.
But
sprinkled
the message
all
was the message was pure. The sentiment might have been delivered as cheesy, but I think the sentiment is pretty valid.
But you know what's funny? This is gonna, and everybody in the comments feel free to go off. But I remember when I was even reading like some of the Wonder Woman comics like years ago, or whatever. That is kind of Wonder Woman's theme.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is like love, and it's such a corny thing, and it can easily be misrepresented as in her saying love each other, because she's not going to do that. Like she really is like the definition of tough love in a way. She won't coddle you unless you really deserve to be coddled. Like she will love tap first or whatever. And I think that's kind of interesting because having a female superhero and her talking about love, it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna drown in this chatter. It's so cheesy or whatever. But it worked.
It worked exactly.
I was kind of like, when she said that, I was kind of wondering, like, and this is not like to be whatever, but would a male superhero say that the answer is love? I don't know, but I was like, and also some people could be like, oh, what, she had to discover that because she had a relationship with a man or whatever. But
take it there.
But I'm just saying, they could make the argument. I'm not necessarily making that argument because I felt like a lot of people have issues with female movies and movies with women leads because it always has to do with love and relationships and having so they never just get to have their own thing. And I can see how they would say that, but I felt like it wasn't overdone. I felt like it was a very small, minor part of the story as a whole. Their relationship, it wasn't huge and everything. And what were we gonna say?
And it doesn't feel like when she says like love is the answer, not being in love, but loving one another.
That's
that was the distinction I felt it was. So it was like you have to fall in love.
No.
You have some respect.
Yeah, and their relationship wasn't. I mean, if he had stayed alive, it probably
probably would have been good.
Probably would have been cool. They might have just been like bit friends with benefits or whatever. She might have been like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm
She's like, look, man,
because
you gonna die soon. I'm dying.
But I felt that it didn't kind of feel overblown or weird or like a cop out or anything like that. There was something else I was gonna say, and
I personally felt like I would have preferred I would have preferred a little bit more of the whole Wonder Woman Steve Trevor chemistry. I mean, their chemistry,
enjoyed it.
It was good.
Their chemistry they had in the movie was great. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
enjoyable. I guess I would have preferred to see a little bit more. Maybe see their relationship develop a little bit more, or at least if not more, just continue to kind of play with it, have a bit more fun
Well,
with
Steve
it.
did say, "I wish we had more time."
Very good.
Which I feel like was like
I mean,
legit.
it was
like,
legit like a 3 or 4 day relationship.
Yeah, because they were only going to be together for the duration of that mission. Which
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so,
mean, and
yeah.
if he had stayed alive, they could have been like, "Well, let me show you around
Right.
this world. Let me figure out.
Yeah.
We stopped at the war."
Yeah.
But it was good, and it's like I feel like it's not. I've never had a problem where in a movie, like especially even if it's supposed to be an all-female movie, if there are relationships and romance and things like that. I like romance in general, but I feel like it's a real thing, and I feel like all people, not just women, but men are also. Romance affects us all, and I feel like it can change kind of your thought process. And maybe you don't see as much in male superhero movies, but I feel like, but honestly and truly, a lot of the driving motivations and backstories of male heroes is a relationship where their loved one was snatched from them or trying to protect them.
Like I think going back to something that you had said, you said would the line love is the answer work if it was a male superhero? And it's funny that you mentioned that because I thought about it and I was like, it might have the same end result, but I think that traditionally in mainstream, the idea is for the man not so much to love, but to protect what he loves.
Right.
And so it always goes to that. So it would be like if he loves someone, say a Lois Lane or whatever, his objective is to always trying to protect it, keep his family protected or whatever. And I think that maybe it's just the traditional roles of what our cultures are built upon kind of coming to the forefront or whatever. But yeah, I think it would be interesting if there was a situation where a man actually had a more direct statement of love is the answer, or whatever. And not the funny or cynical way, like actually,
that's genuine sentiment.
I mean, that would be interesting because even trying to think of a scenario when that happened outside of maybe some random romance film or something like that or whatever, it is an interesting question. It's something to actually point out since it was said in a Wonder Woman film. Because I don't know if, oh crap, who would say it? Captain America say it?
I think
No, he'd be
Superman
like justice, honor.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say.
see, but Superman's more about hope. Or he's supposed to be. Superman's more about hope. I don't know if he'd be like,
That
oh,
is-
the answer.
Traditionally, that would be a sentiment that character would have. Yeah.
Because I don't know too many superheroes that are openly in love.
That is true.
Male superheroes that are openly in love and say like, Lois Lane, you're the love of my life. I love you.
Yeah.
Spider-Man maybe.
Maybe.
Right.
But even then, it's always like,
That's his personal thing.
yeah,
It's not like the world and
it's separate from the world.
Yeah.
Her personal world and her hero world are the same thing.
Yeah.
She hasn't, well, at least in the film, she hadn't developed a distinction yet. Like, they were setting her up to have this Diana Prince identity outside of Wonder Woman or whatever, even giving her the Clark Kent glasses and putting on like a reporter suit or whatever. That was
That's
like,
little girl,
The system saying like, so now she's throwing glasses.
She's not the most beautiful woman we've ever seen.
Okay.
I was like, yes.
yeah,
The side characters were really good.
I love the secretary.
Oh yeah.
I love her so much. Oh
expression.
gosh. Oh god. Yeah.
So much
From
humor.
Shaun of the Dead.
Great
Oh.
character.
Is that her?
That was one of the girls from Shaun of the Dead, like one of the side characters.
Yeah, she was so entertaining to watch. I
Oh
enjoyed
my
her.
God, you're
Yeah,
right.
she's
That was
Shaun of
the
the
actress,
Yeah,
right?
like the kind of
actress
movie
friend.
one, like the friend. Yeah, the actress friend. Yeah.
That's
Shaun of the Dead. I was like, that's my girl.
Yeah.
Good to see you, girl.
Now,
Yeah.
great character performances.
Yeah, I thought
really,
it was
overall.
really well done.
Yeah, character
I
performance.
mean, in general, well done.
Yeah. Oh, and just one more thing. Gal Gadot throws some really good shade eyes, especially at Steve. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there was just some moments I kind of giggled.
You hear her say, you see her in bitch.
Yeah, you
Like,
saw. I thought I could hear her cutting her eyes
Yeah.
at like certain scenes, and I was like, I appreciate that. it was just charming. Just more to the character. I was like, I appreciate
But yeah,
that.
anyway,
What didn't you like?
There was a few.
I already talked about mine. Mine were some of the effects though.
There was
and the
one-
Snyderisms.
One of the few things that I didn't like. I mean, and I was kind of getting. It was kind of like getting built up inside of me as the scene escalated. But then I realized, oh, they're not going that route.
Okay.
And this may sound kind of silly, but it was something I was looking forward to, and they didn't do it. There's this Lego set of with Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor in like a fighter plane, and Ares is this 10 or 6 inch giant Lego character with these big red eyes and this skull bone horn-shaped thing on his head and a big-ass sword. I'm like, oh shit, this is what he's going to look like in the movie. He's going to look like this big, probably CGI monster type deal. Yeah. And in the movie, I did enjoy the final battle scene between the two of them. I loved the hand-to-hand, one-on-one scene, which was great. And, Daniel Flewis, is how you say his name, did a great job as Ares. He just never, he didn't go into full giant monster demon god form, which was a little disappointing. But besides that, I think that's the only big issue I had with the movie is that I thought we were going to see this character translated this way, because usually those toy sets sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time they're fairly accurate, but in this case, that was just for the toy. But that was the one thing I was a little disappointed by. I was like, shucks, we're not going to see a big demonic Ares, which I was kind of hoping we were going to see. But I was left satisfied. I'm like, that was a good fight scene between the lead hero and the lead villain, so, I'll accept that. And I think besides that little instance, and like I said, I would have preferred a little bit more chemistry or screen time just between Steve and Diana. I liked what we got with the two of them. I just would have liked it for like maybe one or two more scenes, or maybe if they played with it a little bit more. But other than that, I think that was my only real issue with the movie, was the final form of the bad guy.
Okay. All right. I remember you mentioned something earlier about something that you didn't like, and it was the corniness at the end. Was there anything else?
I didn't have any major deal breakers. There were a few little awkward moments in the final scene. There was a lot of slow-mo for some reason.
Snyderisms.
Slow-mo, and I didn't understand why there was so much, but then at the end I was just like, well, the way I decided to interpret it was like, these are like the frames of the comic page. Like, this is the pose, this is what the pose
that's right. And you know what? That's probably where the Snyderisms come from in the first place, because 300, and I read about this after I watched the movie, and a lot of the critics say 300 is one of the most comic book accurate depiction films ever. And what they mean by that is that most of the shots from 300 were directly taken from the graphic novel.
Wow, that's
the word's already done.
Which is probably why in a lot of, and then as we've seen in other Snyder films, there's some freeze frame slow-mo shots like we saw in Wonder Woman. Now, I don't know if those were comic book adaptations from her comic book story. They very well could have been. It's entirely possible. But that's probably where the Snyderisms first came from in the first place.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than cheesy moments, I didn't have any deal breakers.
Yeah. Me neither. I mean, again, it was just me nitpicking at like some of the effects, and quite frankly, some of her posing her silhouettes.
That's it.
Someone told us that while filming this, she was pregnant, so good job,
Like
CG
CG
team,
that
makeup
stomach
team, whatever.
out.
Getting
Good
rid of
job.
the baby bump or
Gal
whatever.
Gadot.
Gal Gadot is
That's what she got the sass from, man.
Yeah.
Boy.
I mean, there were moments where she was kind of glowing in the film. Okay, anyway.
And she was just kind of like,
but overall, I can nitpick at things that are just pointless, because the film's not perfect, but
There's no
nothing really that I would be like, why'd they do that?
yeah, it's good.
What about you?
Just like some of the corniness with like the poses and like little things like, girl, like, just breathe. You're a fucking badass.
If you're gonna shoot from the chest, I don't know why you would go
pull
like
it.
this. Kind of blow. I'm like, excuse. I feel like you're being hit.
Yeah.
Maybe like push back. But again, that's small. It's inconsequential.
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin anything about what's happening.
One scene that I noticed that I was like, good save.
Okay.
The fuck? So
Snyder.
when she was talking to Ares and he revealed himself, and he was standing inside, she was standing outside, and she went like this,
and her
sword wasn't there.
Yeah.
The next scene, she just falls down like she came from the roof and had her sword.
Oh yeah.
She didn't show her getting it, but
She didn't show her getting it.
That was a save.
That was a save, but it was like to the audience up until she realizes that the sword isn't the god killer, but she is. The whole audience, we all assumed that this sword was very important.
Yeah.
And I was, maybe in hindsight, because it wasn't important at all, like, why would Ares just let her... Hold on, I know we're talking really quick, but let me just walk up to the roof, grab this thing, and float back and finish our conversation.
That
was the only bit that I was kind of like, what?
Yeah, that was strangely edited, because they cut away to, the
for like
crew.
a whole scene.
Yeah, which was fine, and then they come back and she is coming down with the sword. Because I'm always like, don't leave your sword in the body. I'm always like, I would immediately take it.
Maybe Ares felt so confident in the situation,
That's
he
how I
didn't give a
interpreted
rat's
it.
ass if
That's
she
how I
got
interpreted
her
it. Because she knew it
sword.
Or
wasn't
maybe something
that.
was just cut. Like
Yeah, maybe there was a-
maybe she sees him. She's ready. She can't go in. He's talking to her. She jumps up. He's up there. She pulls her sword.
Yeah,
More dialogue.
I
yeah.
assumed, exactly.
Yeah.
I
It
assumed
could've
she
been a
quickly jumped on the roof,
Yeah,
grabbed her
that's
sword,
right,
and then jumped back down.
Because if she would have jumped up and he would have been, he would have kept talking to her, and she would have been like, whatever, and then she like looks around. He's behind her. Like just like. If they want to spend the extra 30 seconds to do this, how I would do it or whatever, I don't usually do this how I would do it, but basically she'd reach for it, you wouldn't see her. She would jump up to get her sword or whatever, pick it up, and then she would hear Ares behind her or on the side of her out of view, and then you would turn and you would get her whatever,
And the continue competition up there on the roof.
but then no, or maybe she would get up there, she would hear him talking before she grabs the sword, and then she'll see him, she'll reach down, grab her sword, and look up, and he's gone again. Then she jumps back down, he's back inside. That would be the only way to kind of stitch it
Sequence
together.
that,
Yeah.
That was like
But
literally
again,
the only bit that I was kind of like.
That was the only thing that really threw you off.
That was kind of
the
like, what?
tidbit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But outside
you
of
know what
that, again.
But it's one of those things that's so quick where at first you're like, what the hell? But then it
Moving
continues
on.
and
So,
then like,
yeah,
never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, there's
That's
lots
what
of
happened.
movies where there's been moments like, what the hell? And then the movie keeps going, fuck it.
And so I guess overall, I think that we're all pretty much, it's a good movie.
Recommend it. Yep,
Yeah.
highly recommend it
Yeah.
for superhero fans, DC fans, Wonder Woman fans.
And
You have a daughter?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Little
you
girls.
don't want to be a fighter. You want to have to put us in martial arts class.
And also, just on a side note, now that we have Wonder Woman, can we get some more female heroes, and also can we get some female action figures that are for collectors?
That are actually you will move.
Yeah, that actually move because I'm
There's
not
actually, I think
I'm hoping that
I
we get
saw,
some.
I've been seeing lately in Target and Toys R Us plenty of,
Come on, consumer products.
yeah,
you want this?
plenty. Some of them are Barbies, but there are genuine action figures of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman
Good,
from this
good.
movie.
Genuine action
So yeah,
figures.
they're definitely.
So I'm looking forward to it.
they're
There's some money
cashing
for you
in-
guys.
Yeah, they're
Get it.
cashing in on the brand of this big time. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, with that said, I think we all, I think we can just kind of conclude our
wrap it up.
Review Friends meeting here, guys. Listen in the comments below if you have any questions or if we said something that didn't make any sense.
Or what are your thoughts? What are your
What are your
What
thoughts?
did you
Actually,
think
I'm
of the
curious,
movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
Please,
what did you guys think?
please give Wonder Woman your money. Right now, I think according to Little Bird, they're about like 200 million right now.
Like
and it's
24 hours later, 12 hours later.
like
girl.
it's killed it because the movie's actually good. We all think that
Yeah.
you should go see it.
All
Again.
single ladies?
Worth repeating. Warner Brothers, keep this momentum going for
give me
the
some
next
more.
couple
Justice
movies.
League, I'm looking at you. I'm a little nervous. Cause I'm like, okay, it's
I'm
not
very
just.
nervous.
I'm very nervous, and it's gonna be Aquaman's debut. So don't. If you're gonna
Aquaman,
I'm gonna
gotta
do
put
with Aquaman and Cyborg origin stories and Justice League.
I'm so nervous about that cyborg character, man.
We'll have to.
Because it looks
we'll
like
see.
full CGI and they always fuck it up when they go full CGI.
Which one, Green Lantern?
Yes!
Anyways, on that note, we have our guest, Anthony Edward. Check out his channel.
Yes.
And then we also have Julius Purples.
Aaron, gold-plated.
2020,
two-part
2024,
comedy,
all
you
that
feel
good
me?
stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Next 8 years of mine, holla at your boy.
And I'm Zaylin.
No worries.
See you next time. See you later,
Have a good
Space
one,
Cowboys.
guys.
Bye. Hi, everybody.
Hello, thank you for watching our video. And if you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button below and subscribe for more LittleNerdyAX action in the future. Also, don't forget to leave any comments and share it with your friends. We will see you next time. See you later, Space Cowboy.
Boom, you got that one.